Thanks for checking out today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/darthjacen. Links for this and our Patreon will be in the description below. Hope you enjoy. Hello everybody. Practicing a little bit of Historic, getting prepped for the MIQ this weekend. Alright, starting the season off fresh in gold. Since we're still in gold, we'll play best of one. If we like the deck for best of one. Not that it helps us too much, but I like to just play best of one until we get to plat. Alright, this hand's great. There's some good green-white stuff going on. Finding what they're on. Let's see here. I'm gonna kill the music. As much as I'd love to have the music on. Alright, part of Heliod. Play Sentinel here. Just, yeah, starting to lag this out a little. Maybe I can get... Alright. Alright, well now we're just a little bit stripped of anything going on. Never great. Okay. They don't seem to have much going on either way. We're gonna pump up the Sentinel here. Knight's fine. Put it on this so we can get through. I don't mind jumping here or offering a trade. Then we can just stand up the Hydra and start beating.
I close both locks below the window.
2, 4,
I close both blinds and turn away.
3, 5, 7, 8, 9.
Sometimes solutions
I'm gonna trade with a 3-1 here.
Sometimes goodbye's the only
Like if they're just replaying this, we're fine. Spawn? Sure. Good draw, good draw. Alright, it's gonna be hard for them to win. We have this Sentinel on 3. Yeah, you're in there. What do you got? Take one. Bring that back.
Your friends all plead for you to stay.
Alright. Shade's not gonna do anything.
Sometimes beginnings aren't so simple. Sometimes goodbye's the only way. And the sun
Alright, well. Leslie, looking okay so far. Let's keep going.
set for you. And the shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray. And the sun will set for you.
Oh, every once in a while. How's it going? Mostly just playing to prepare for the MIQ this weekend. Getting used to this deck for a hot minute before we really sink into the testing part. And best of threes. Interesting. Yeah, I played a lot of Historic back when Uro was around. And then other than that, I mess around in Historic here or there, but not as often as I'd like to. Black looting. Mono black Historic control. I think that's similar to what we just played against. A lot of mid-range control decks in Historic. I'm glad we got the Heliod down. Feels like it's the toughest card for a control deck to answer. We'll just grow this for a minute, and then next turn, if we draw a land, we can play both of these if it's white. If not, we can just get Mentor, get 2 counters down. Again, no individual creature here really matters. We'll grind them out of answers, because Heliod's just strong enough to carry. We don't lose anything off this. Another looting, sure. Or, I guess it's flashback looting. It's been a while. I played a lot of like Jeskai control, but then when the Brainstorm suspend happened along with memory lapse and things like that, didn't really get in it. Egrid. I don't know that card. Is that one of the new ones, or is it a card that was in Jumpstart? Egrid, God of Fright. That doesn't help at all. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, this card looks like it would be great in that kind of deck. This is going to be hard for them to answer, I think. It's a real white source where we get to just like cleave through them. We sort of do. Kind of there. Solid 12. If they spend their whole turn buying back Croxo, it's going to be tough for them. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of really good cards in Historic that I just like haven't actually gotten a chance to mess around with. There we go. Green-white keeps rolling. We gotta get through the season reset. Last season was that seems fair. Let's see. Black, white auras, blue, red. Yeah, double Innkeeper. It's gonna be tough for them to race us. Day9 is based. I'm gonna mute notifications for a hot minute. Oh yeah, Mythic's great. Lawless has been really good. I've enjoyed them all. Helix. Do we have anything that stops Helix here? No. Alright, that's fine. Do we have anything that gives counters at the moment? We do not. I guess I'd rather have 2 of these than the 3rd Innkeeper. Alright, good enough. Alright, we continue. It's 4-0. Add a little text real quick. That's so big. Why is it massive? Alright, let's over here. Alright, keep going. Nothing quite like a little best one to start the day. Yeah, Lily's very good, but it doesn't quite do enough. The other problem is, like, your worst matchup is any deck that has Epiphany in it, which is not somewhere you want to be in life right now. Let's tap like this. We'll gain our life, and if this is Phoenix, make sure Sentinel gets down. Teamer? Sure. Gimme. Azure Wilds is a great name for a deck playing escape cards.
He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken?
This will evolve and get us another squirrel.
He said, will you defeat them, your demons?
There we go. This deck is sweet. Oh no. Well, that's rude. Oh, I should play this in the other order to gain a life. It's fine. Man deck anger. I guess it really was only a 4. Ooh. Well, I get to keep drawing cards, so that's nice. That shark taping I see hanging out over there. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one. Yeah, I suspect we will be a little bit slow against this deck. The neat one. I don't think the new one is going to be that good, to be honest. The Cleave one. I have a feeling the Cleave one is going to end up being just passable. Epiphany is very strong, but Thalia should help, and if we get some more aggressive cards, it should be okay, but yeah, we'll have to see. Right, you get a 6/6. Alright, we just need to get something that can kill here. Hey, alright. That doesn't do it. I'm just gotta throw this to the wolves. I just don't think those decks need any more of that effect, right? Like, you get to the point where it's a redundant effect you don't actually need. There's a good chance, though, that Epiphany is just still the best thing to be doing, even through Thalia, but new sets always bring a shakeup. It's not a very fun card, to be fair. That does definitely make it more likely. Alright. If I lose lands instead of creatures... Hey! Means I'm not to have a instant or sorcery? Seems unlikely. Oh, they just die? Okay. Okay. Good enough. Just barely crossed the finish line, but just barely counts. Yeah, I mean, Blizzard Brawl pushes a lot of cards out. Frostbite doesn't see too much play in Standard outside of... No, I don't even think the blue-red decks are playing it. If I'm not mistaken. Brawl is really tough, though, because it sort of invalidates every creature deck. But, like, mono-green is beatable. Like, we're in a weird spot, I think, where... Like, this blue-black deck just broke out at the NV. Like, there's still a lot of development time to come in Standard. Or the new set, I don't know if people will figure out a way to make Epiphany a little bit less miserable. I hope they do. I haven't enjoyed Standard too much since it felt like a lot of Epiphany stuff going on, but that's okay. I don't have to enjoy every Standard. I've been enjoying Pioneer a lot instead. Mold a 4 from our opponent here. Gruul deck and Standard. I'm trying to think. I don't remember it. Or if it was climbing, it wasn't climbing noticeably enough, I guess. For blue-white, I think I do just want to apply some pressure as far as mana development goes. Blue-white has a better time answering Heliod, I'd imagine, so I think I do just want to try and get Cocoing sooner rather than later. I'm gonna play this because it plays around Censor. Mending? Okay. I knew there's a... Oh, okay, we're against Esper Reanimator. Or, whoa, hello? Interesting. Alright, if they're Reanimator, I'm not going to be worried about Wraths as often. Let's build our board. Put them on as short a clock as possible here. Oh, the Gruul deck was like start of the season. Yeah, it's like the deck that John Emmanuel Depra took to second at Worlds and was playing with the blue splash for. Yeah, that deck was good. We're gonna flash this back with Birth Threat to reanimate. Yeah, that deck was good. But the versions that like John Emmanuel Depra played didn't play Frostbite. Oh, great. Just gonna give Pro Creature, and then I don't know if we have a way to win. Probably not. I guess we just need them to miss on land here. 5. Oh, they did miss on land. I mean, if they don't have a counterspell here, and this turns this on. We want to put all our counters on creatures that are not Heliod in case they can answer a white creature somewhere. That's 3, 6, 10, 15. Alright, well, they missed on land, so we get to win. They also mulled to 4. Alright, just cruising. 6-0 through gold 2. See if we can get the full 12-0. Yeah, it's never fun when the best deck sort of is, you know, uninteractive like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with having to be able to beat a deck like Epiphany, but it's frustrating if a deck like Epiphany is the one deck you have to care about. The joys of playing limited. Almost have the full tree done. Oh my goodness. What are you doing here? What are you doing to me, random pics from YouTube? It's just another slam keep. This deck's felt great. I mean, granted, we're still doing best of ones and we're still early, so maybe it's a little bit too soon to claim it, but deck's felt great. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna take Veto here. Just collect a company of them out of the game. I'm gonna say odds they drew exactly Censor low, or another Veto. Yeah. Excuse me, I just need to... Alright, there we go. Alright. Need to dodge a Wrath effect, I guess. Otherwise we're just loading up on this Mentor. Narset finds... Archmage's turn, huh? Good enough. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that's sort of the method you have to approach it with. I think decks like that are very exploitable. Once you get to like the highest levels though, they're ready for the exploits of like playing hyper aggro. But stuff on like ladder and things like that, it's definitely something you can abuse. Rocket Boomer, love to see it. Alright, this hand is pretty great. In the dark, I'm gonna lead on Elf because next turn we can play Scurry Colony. So I guess we did probably just want to shock and lead on one of these. Draw land, but that's okay. Mono black aggro, they're just gonna kill the oak. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's how like a lot of the decks in Pioneer operate, is just like, oh, you're gonna play this late game deck, nice, we'll play things like Go Blank and you'll never actually get to do anything. Nice. really want to get Sentinel down in this matchup, I think, but... Alright, there's our other white source. Tigre does seem pretty good. I'm gonna drop Heliod and then Sentinel. Forces them to deal with this if they want to. Alright, so they're gonna answer this, sure. Get in there. If they trade here, Sentinel becomes a 2-2. It's gonna be tough for them to deal with. Alright, we have another Oak. We have a Skyclave. Mayhem, sure. Not a bad draw. This will turn this on. Yeah, so as long as they play a creature, we can Skyclave. They're in real trouble because they're going to take 2, 4, 6, 7, 12, which is lethal. And a Thoughtseize and pay 2? Well, it's not going to help them much. You have to take this. Unless they have a way to remove this. Leer? Yeah, if they have to give you Leer, that seems devastating for them. We drew a white creature. How rude of us. Yeah, every time they give you a Leer and you're just like, ah, more discard. Seems impossible for them to beat. I'll just run through gold real quick if this keeps up. And remains good. Put this into lair. Just curve them out. See what they got going on over here. What is this? Oh, okay. So it's gonna be in an auras or an enchantment deck. Okay, well, we can Skyclave it. Hopefully Coco finds another one. Oh, okay. Well, definitely need to answer this Ram. It's a large, huh? We don't answer the Saram. But I feel like we can value out the Saram as long as we're not letting them have threats. Hope just like Coco. Take our 2-for-1 where we can get it. Keep going. Oh, Tonkatsu. Means pork in Japanese. I guess I know Tonkatsu ramen, but I'm assuming it's still. Yeah. Hoping this Coco finds good answer to Saram. Well, now we have to answer the Spirit Dancer, so that's rough. This might be a matchup we're not so happy to fight. I'll take 3. Vigilance, toughness rather than. Alright, I'm gonna see if we find. Alright, Skyclave's perfect. Scurry Oak. Give me that. Why does he keep putting random Nickelback on here? Alright. We're in a racing situation where we're gonna get to play Spellbinder into Aspirant and just keep turning out squirrels. Yeah, Scurry Oak plus Aspirant's kind of cute. Graham doesn't have trample. Just gonna take my hoodie off real quick. Yeah, first strike. We'll jump forever. Start building an army of squirrels. Get on this, see what we got going on over there. Alright, so we have to be cognizant of Thud. What's that? Power target. So we can't attack. They can just throw a soldier at it with first strike. Oof. Many cards, many cards. Now they have fire breathing on it, they can make it an 8 power. Oh, bad for us. Still have fire breathing on it. Alright, no attacks. Good for us. Oh, we know their hand, but we're getting this in here anyway. So we make this a 7, 8. This can still kill it. So let's just beef up our flyer. Threaten a kill next turn. Need them to draw a land or a creature. No, no auras, please. They could draw another Thud. Be fine with that. Alright. I'll block.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.
So they can Thud, kill one of the Spellbinders. But if they kill the small... Yeah, since they have to sack the Stram if they want to kill the big one. The sorcery, yeah. You can put this on here to draw a card. But we're in post-combat. So right now, coming through for 5 in the air. They have to block this, 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 and they take 10 total. Block this, this, and this, yeah. Currently they're taking 10 total. Well, that draws them a card, but now they only have red mana open. Okay, well. 5, 2, 4, 6. X equals 5. Should be taking 10. There we go. 9-0. Ah, it's a gold one. And so it continues. We're playing our best of threes once we get to flat. Actually get some practice in. I might as well rush through gold real quick. Game's great. There's tapped. Do this if they play something threatening, otherwise we might just try and get Heliod down. No land onto the battlefield tapped. Okay, so this should get Aces Haven, I imagine? Oh, a duel, sure. Heliod plus Scurry Oak is kinda nutty, huh? Light, sure. Do you want that Thoughtseize, or do you not want that Thoughtseize? Right, because this enters, gains a life, and we just keep the chain going, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. That does exactly what we thought it did. Just infinite life, infinite creatures. Solid turn forward. Which is a classic Tenno to start our It's a classic little Tenno run through gold so far. Yeah, this hand's great. I mean, this deck feels great and every hand looks great, so it's always a nice start. Halfway Sentinel. As we get closer to plat and things, I imagine we'll run into more decks that challenge this deck, but until we're there, I would be surprised to see a lot of stuff challenging this efficient of a deck. Okay, so we're up against Elves. This could definitely challenge us. I want to get Heliod down. I feel like we need to take a peek at what's going on in there. Yeah, we need to take this Coco. Still gonna be tough, but at least if we get the Coco out of their hands there, they can't just cast it right now. They don't have a land though. Many elves. Lots here too. We're in a little bit of trouble, flooding out. I'm gonna play this. And give something like Blink if we need. Okay.
blinding end. It's the worst kind of pain I've known. Give up your heart left broken.
I'm gonna mark this one down as 11-0.
That mistake.
See if we can get the clean 12-0 out of gold.
'Cause the love that you lost wasn't worth what it cost. And in time you'll be glad it's gone.
The rope continues. Get this lifelink. This lifelink. This lifelink. Oh hey, look, they died. Classic little 11-0. One more to get out of gold here.
Not for roads untraveled. We've not
Hand's perfect. This deck is so good, man.
seen.
We're on the draw, that's okay.
May your love never end. And if you
Forest, I'm gonna lead on Elf.
there's a seed here.
Man, this is just so good, the combo. We have 4 reach, right? Yeah. I think we have 2 Scurry Oaks, so that's okay. Sure. Benefit of leading there. Now we don't have to care. Could play the Sentinel, but I don't think they're going to kill this. There's just not a lot of value to it. Elf there. We could just kill this, but again, seems kind of like why. Yeah, that seems like a stronger play for sure. Alright, let's play this. Put this down. Gain a life, make it a 2-2. Alright, now we can play Coco and hopefully deal with their board. Paradise Druid and Foam Crusher, I assume? Brawler, sure. You get him for 3. You're in there. Alright, let's get this Coco going. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take these 2. Take this. Yeah. Easy 12-0 through gold. Love to see it. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this content on either Twitch or YouTube. If you did, please like or subscribe. If you didn't, be sure to leave a comment down below. I promise not to read it. Until next time.